Nyland with the puck. Did he take a Willie Plett stick across the back?
I don't think it was that hard. It looks like he pulled a muscle or something in his back. I don't know. He's going after Willie, so maybe it was.
And here go the benches.
Here we go again.
Who's first off? Now Holmgren throwing them. Willie and Nyland are down in front of the net.
Walters is with somebody too. This looks to be a lot more serious than the one we had the other night against Detroit.
Plett trying to rip Nyland's helmet off, and he lands a right.
That's not Nyland.
That's McPhee. Mike McPhee.
Meloche paired off with Sevigny, the two Montreal natives we talked about.
There was really no sign of this all game. It wasn't that type of hockey game, and it seemed like a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Turnbull and Steve Payne have a lock on one another. Turnbull is hanging on to Plett, making sure he and McPhee don't go at it anymore. I think everybody looks more tired than anything else right now.
Well, Meloche is ready to believe that this is over. He's taken his towel and draped it back over his neck. Standing next to
Nyland. He's still not very happy.
Nyland is number 1 in the league in penalty minutes. Plett is number 3. Tiger Williams, out of curiosity, is number 2.
Isn't that over yet?
Take a look at what Nyland's upset about.
Here you see.
Right there.
We'll give him a good shot, but here we go. Paul Holmgren and Carlson.
Boy, I'll tell you, Carlson can really take care of himself.
He's doing well.
Well, he went after one of the toughest right there.
Carlson's 6'3" and 200 pounds. He's a rookie. Played college hockey at St. Lawrence University.
You see Plett and Nyland trying to get at each other, too.
That's back at the blue line where Plett and Nyland are.
Well, the linesmen, each one has Plett and Nyland. So it's up to Holmgren and Carlson to separate themselves. Good luck.
Craig, you'd rather be up here right now or down there?
No, I'd rather be down there. Maybe safer up here, but I'd rather be down there.
This happens with 6 minutes and 33 seconds in a hockey game that was close to being decided, if it hasn't been already. 3-goal Montreal lead, 6-3, as Nyland continues to jaw away at Plett. And they essentially are saying the same thing.
There's something going on in the corner we can't see anyway. It's Holmgren, they're still fighting. That's got to be the longest fight in the history of hockey.
Holmgren and Carlson. Carlson is tired, and you see quite a bit of blood spattering around, and now Roberts comes in to try to help by pulling Carlson off. Napier is there, and looks like Acton trying to reach in to pull.
There's some blood on the ice down there, too. I don't know whose that is.
I think it's Holmgren's blood, too, by the looks of it. When they went down, Holmgren went down first.
Well, in the meantime, I've lost sight of Willie Plett. But Ron Foyt still has a hold of
Turnbull and McAdam are looking at each other like...
Well, Turnbull, I'm sure is aware of Al McAdams' strength. Ciccarelli is there.
Well, Holmgren is up and by himself.
Jim
Still
Christensen.
got Willie and Nyland.
Not much question about who cut who in that latest rally of blows. Tempers seem to have settled a bit. And maybe perhaps because they are tired more than anything else.
He's double teamed in the corner. The Canucks drop it to the point to McCarthy. A drive. Meir the save. Rebound, and Meir is able to grab it and hold on. And now Daly and Gillis get into it at the side of the goal. Big Daly pounding away at Gillis, and now here come a couple of Canucks into it. And here comes somebody off the bench. Frank Bayes for Philadelphia. And now Snips comes off for Vancouver, and now everybody comes. And we have a bench-emptying brawl here in Vancouver.
Well, you could almost smell that coming, couldn't you, Dan? I think more than anything else, it is the frustration of the Vancouver Canucks. Meir took a goal off of Williams on a deflected shot. Right moments later, he took another one off of Lupo. And you have to say that Clark and Barber and Daly played better against 5 of the Vancouver Canucks, and this is the result of it.
Even the goaltenders, Peters and Bromley, have a hold of each other over at the other side. Hanlon is into it. Meir has a hold of a Vancouver player. Everybody just pairing off. There are 3 Flyers in the penalty box and only 1 Canuck. It all started out with Bob Daly. And who was it, Gillis?
I think it was Gillis.
Now look at the goaltenders. So a bench-emptying brawl here in Vancouver with 5.5 minutes left. I don't know which pair to keep an eye on. These fellas don't like each other too well, do they? Now you look at, you have Meir. He lands a right hand against McCarthy, and Meir and McCarthy start to slug it out at center ice, as well as a couple of other belts inside the blue line. And everybody is paired off here in Vancouver, and the linesman and the referee are having a heck of a job to try and separate it. Now Hanlon comes over as a couple of Canucks have a hold of Linsman.
The last thing in the world that Tommy Gradine wants to do is fight, and Linsman on 2 occasions has tried to stick
Here come the players out of the penalty box now. The 3 Flyers and the 1 Vancouver player come out of the penalty box. And the old NHL coppers are going to get richer from this one.
All we need now is someone to go in the stands.
Everybody's still in it here in Vancouver, and people have come off the bench, including 4 players coming out of the penalty box. Bromley and Busnick of Philadelphia are nose to nose. Usually you don't see the goaltenders get that involved as we have in this one. They must really be mad at each other, these 2 teams.
Well, they're all hanging out and waltzing now. And as we said, I kind of think it was Gary Gillis who earlier on we talked about as having great talent. Was a tremendous junior out of Sherbrooke, had 50 or 60 goals a year. I thought he'd be a better pro than he was a junior, and had 1 good year. Oh, there they go again. Snips and who?
Well, there's Harold Snips on the far side with Holmgren. Everybody keeps an eye on those 2 now. as they are in at close quarters.
I've been in a few of those in my time. Dan, never won one in my life, and I'll tell you, right now, all their arms have to be just tired, dead tired. I think they're carrying a pail of sand in each hand.
Oh, hold on. We have who's Smeal and
Bumping heads.
who's he with over there?
Bath.
Now it gets over into the penalty box again. And your guess is as good as mine as to who's in that one, as they're all in that penalty box area.
I kind of think it's number 5. Bath, the first chap who come off the bench. He and Smeal have been hanging on to each other all along, and a few minutes ago, they're knocking heads.
Oh, that's Spade that Smeal was with?
Spade. Thanks. Hey, that'll be a good one. Hanlon
and Meir, the goaltenders down near the blue line, start to dance around a little bit.
Neither one of them could punch their way out of a wet paper bag.
Well, here we go for the goaltenders championship. Yeah, incidentally, referee-in-chief Scotty Morrison is in the crowd here this evening. Now we have another outbreak. Dave Logan is into it with a couple of players on the far side. This is getting kind of ridiculous, Howie.
Did we get paid for overtime, Dan?
Down near the goal mouth, and Hanlon with left hand starts to pound away at Bill Meir. Now he gets the right hand free. Now goes back to the left. Now goes over top. Hanlon and Meir, the goaltenders. Meir, the starter for Philadelphia. Hanlon, the backup for the Canucks, and Hanlon has landed some uppercuts. Comes over to try and help out Meir and Hanlon as they try and separate those two. Now back at center ice. There we go with Holmgren and Snaps in the main event again. Where's Tiger throughout all this? Has he got a hold of somebody? Sure he has. I just can't see which Philadelphia player Tiger Williams of the Canucks is with.
Oh, he's got Kelly.
Pardon?
I think he has Kelly.
Yeah, Tiger Williams and Bob Kelly are nose to nose. They have a good hold on each other. Well, we have a bench carrying. Now we have another scrap as Logan and Bridgman down at the other end inside the blue line start to throw them. Bridgman with a left hand. Another left hand by Bridgman. Another left by Bridgman. Another left by Bridgman against Dave Logan.
That's got to be the mismatch of the year, that one down there.
Now Bridgman and
Somebody's
Logan
got to go and help before he gets killed.
Bridgman has that left hand that he's been
in front. Is Bailey going with Corson? Cam Neely, rather, and Corson, the rookie. Toe to toe.
He got a few good shots in on Corson. They strangled Corson with the strap on that helmet. Oh, look at the blood. Ooh, the cut from the puck earlier. Ah, that's a shame. Neely will have to go back and have that cut stitched up. That's the cut that Cam got when he took the shot from Al Peterson on the forehead. They stitched him up. And unfortunately, with the fight, the hit in the head by the Al Peterson shot, now it's been reopened.
Jay Miller out, replacing Cam Neely. McCarthy, Simmer, and Miller with Boutelier and Talene. 2-1 Montreal, 5:10 left in the second period. And this has been a real battle. McCarthy spills Carbonneau. They keep the puck in. Miller checked along the line. Broken up. And Miller goes after Carbonneau. A Talene pass to Miller. Miller ready to go at Carbonneau. Chelios. Everybody. He's in the middle of it. Jay Miller. Held off.
Chelios just grabbed McCarthy in a headlock. I thought Chris just wanted to pair up with somebody. McCarthy was the only guy without a dancing partner, and now they're ready to go. Well, next time Chris will try not to be too aggressive while going through the buddy up system.
There is the great talent to take the jersey and pin the man, and that's the way McCarthy has Chelios.
Miller and Bailey now. Oh, Miller won that one. Clear cut. Oh, this is like Thursday night at the Phelps Forum now. Oh, Jay figures, gee, I'm not getting too many shifts tonight. I'm going to make the most of this one. I'm not so sure Bailey wanted to choose number 29. I know Nyland wanted to. Nyland's over there trying to pull McCarthy off of Chelios. Uh-oh, Boutelier lost grip of Nyland. Boy, this is unbelievable. Now, what you're looking at is the main event, but that Miller-Maley duel is still going. Now they broke that one up. Boy, this is unreal. Punch at Boutelier. Boutelier wasn't even watching. Miller wants to get after Nyland. He's being held by Kevin Collins. He's pointing at Nyland. This is going to explode. Boutelier was just holding off Nyland, and when Boutelier turned to look at McCarthy and Chelios, Nyland threw a punch at Boutelier and fortunately missed. Miller's telling Nyland he wants him. Mark Biden waltzing with Dave Bailey. I guess this was coming with a 3-3 tie in October and a 3-2 overtime game Monday night in Montreal, and another close physical game tonight. I guess it had to explode sooner or later. Well, Miller gets an ovation as he goes to the dressing room. I'm willing to wager, Fred, that we haven't seen the last of this tonight. Miller should only be getting a fighting major, as will McCarthy and Boutelier. Nyland, Chelios, and Maley will all get 5 minutes. Nyland. Oh, Nyland took a swing at Linsman. Here we go. Well, this will clear the benches. Here we go. Perry O'Reilly trying to hold off Mike McPhee and Patrick Roy. Portnall, who's he going with down the runway? Skrudlin. This thing is spilled out into the hallway between the dressing rooms. This is unbelievable. Marquardt has Lemieux. There may not be anybody left to finish the second period. Well, if Andy Van Helleman wants, all he has to do is take tonight's program, tack it on the wall, and throw darts. Wherever it lands, give that number a penalty.
Where's O'Reilly?
He's standing up on the bench. He had McPhee and Roy. You let Roy go to concentrate on McPhee. Well, Pat Riggin eyeballing Brian Hayward at the other end of the rink. Look at the blood on O'Reilly. Or is that Coke? Watch Nyland as he left out. He'll say something to Linsman as they head for the dressing room. And he'll swing at Linsman, and that's what started it. Linsman went after Nyland, and God knows how they made out. That one spilled out into the hallway. Chelios, who was also headed for the dressing room, came barreling through the doorway into the pile of players, and that's when the Montreal bench emptied. My guess would be that Nyland, Fred, Nyland may get tossed on this. He already had picked up 5. He was headed for the dressing room. Oh, look at the welt on the right cheekbone from you. Oh, here's a mouse. Oh.
Did Nevin Marquardt do that? They were battling.
I don't know if Nevin did that or if that was from that earlier altercation on the boards where the face mask of his helmet, I think, came down and hit him on the cheekbone. He was down for a while in the corner. Ray Bourque is headed for the dressing room. And Milbury? I think the team's headed for the dressing room.
He had it with the right wing to Keogh, now relayed to Ferguson. 11 seconds to go in the game. Ferguson, long shot. He'll miss the goal there. Boutet comes off. Carlisle with a drive. That deflects. And the near corner. Boutet takes a run at Hart. And Baxter takes Hart against the board. As the whistle sounds now, we've got both teams emptying out. Look out. Things are going to heat up here. Bodies all over the ice. Both clubs have emptied out here as the game has ended. And there are bodies bouncing each other around in the corner. Pavisi comes over to get a handle on Mulvey. And both clubs now mixing it up. Now Pavisi and now Mulvey drops the glove. Medill trying to separate Pavisi and Mulvey. Turnbull's trying to get a Mulvey now. Paul Harrison has Patey tied up. Michel Leon and Mike Liut, former teammates, just jawing with one another. And still, the game has ended now. It's a 3-1 St. Louis victory. But the tempers have really heated up here after the game ended. Penguins frustrated. There's no question about that. Just annihilating the Blues in the final period and coming away shorthanded.
Well, the game ended with Boutet taking a pretty hard check in the corner. Paul Baxter came in. He had his stick up pretty high, and then it started. The benches had already begun to empty. Now everybody's in there pushing. It's only going to take one swing by somebody, and there's going to be a real nasty incident. But they're getting the troublemakers out of there. Turnbull, they've got Baxter off the ice, Mulvey off.
Well, they're still milling around.
Baxter's coming back out now.
Baxter and Babich, I think, are drawn with one another.
Now, you know Jerry Hart's down there getting his 2 cents in.
Well, you know, you kind of look at the divisional setup. The Penguins with the Patrick division have a great division this year, but isn't it a shame we don't have the Blues as many times as we have some of the other teams? They just seem to bring out the best in both clubs. I think that's going to cool down now. Everybody's kind of got a hold on everything. Ben's have Mulvey, Baxter, Boutet all in the walkway already. There's still a lot of talking going on here. Russ Anderson now and Jim Pavisi have some word. And now Medill is going to take Pavisi away and move him away from the situation. Anderson now still talking, yelling at Pavese.
I'll be watching for Price and Sutter. They've had a few go-rounds.
Now Price congratulated Dion on an excellent game, and well, he should. Anderson saying something to Pavese. Yep. We still got players milling around on the ice. And now you just hope that cooler heads prevail and we get things settled down and both clubs go to their respective dressing rooms. They just don't want to keep it going. The longer they stay out, the more likelihood that there is going to be some type of involvement here. Matt Price now directing the troops and saying, hey, guys, let's go. Let's get it over with. Liut skates off, and that'll do it. That's it. Final score tonight. St. Louis 3 and Pittsburgh 1. And this is the Penguins.
It was the same old song with the melancholy sound. They don't ride like that anymore. They just don't ride like that anymore. Living together for a million years. But now it feels so strange out in the atmosphere.